Hello, my dear friends. This is Cynthia, and today I'm going to do something a little bit special. We're coming up on the new moon of phases tomorrow morning. So today is essentially the dark moon, which is the moon in its balsamic phase. Time for revealing what's hidden from us. It's different than the illumination of the full moon. This is revealing, uncovering mystery, truths that are hidden in the darkness. And so I'm going to actually do a general tarot card. I'm using Sacred Circle Tarot. And I'm going to do a general tarot card reading for whoever is listening, whenever you're listening. Meant to reveal something that's hidden. Could bring up a karmic tie, past life. Who knows? But that's what this particular spread is for. We're going to take a look at where you're at currently, either you personally on your journey in your life or a particular situation. What past life or karmic tie or karmic pattern is influencing that currently, and what the outcome is, the potential or the trajectory. It's headed in that direction. And then there's always an opportunity to pull some clarifier cards, depending upon what that trajectory is. If there's advice or insight as to how to handle present situation in order to release the old karma or integrate the past life lesson, and move forward into a new direction. All right, off we go then. Knight of Wands, Six of Wands, King of Wands, Wow Fire, hello. So what's hidden being the Six of Wands, whether, okay, that's what it is. Okay. So the Knight of Wands is indicating in this position as it stands, I'm picking up on a sense of there's energy, there's something in the works, there's hopes, there's dreams, there's taking steps towards a goal, or planning a move, or taking action. There is a need to balance that energy with a certain amount of thoughtfulness or communication, in the sense that we don't want this Knight of Wands to just go roaring off impulsively. Whether it's a good feeling or a bad feeling, whether we have a brilliant idea or we're dealing with something challenging, we don't want our emotions to be making the decisions of what to say or what to do. What we want is our emotions to fuel and empower the ideas that we have, the boundaries we need to uphold, the words that we have to say or express, the plans that we have to make. So we want the fuel and the momentum, the power of how we feel to spur us into action and be hopeful and optimistic about a new beginning or a new adventure or a next step. But we don't want to dive headfirst into a pool that doesn't have any water, right? So we don't want it to make the decision as to what the action is or when to take it. We can get a little bit impatient with the Knight of Wands energy, or we can act without thinking things through. Now, if we overthink, if we have a tendency towards overthinking, then stifling this Knight of Wands energy can actually cause us to procrastinate. So we need to find this balance. And I think that the Six of Wands in the position of what is hidden, working with the Knight of Wands energy here, is actually saying, like, the success is there, the victory, the accomplishment, the achievement, whatever this is there and present. So whatever it is from the past, whether it's past in this life or past in a previous life, or whether this is a time, I'm getting a lot with the Six of Wands, but its interaction with the Knight of Wands is about have faith that things are okay and that they're going to be okay and that they're going to turn out the way that you want, but allow yourself to take a deep breath and be consciously directing excuse me, consciously directing your thoughts, attitudes, approaches, words, behaviors, actions, decisions, etc. This could be, now the Six of Wands in this position is also telling me that there's been a lot of karmic release. There's been a lot of karmic ties cleared. There's been a lot of lessons integrated, whether they be from past lives or whether they be from this life, okay? There's a sense of wisdom coming up with this Six of Wands as to having achieved, accomplished, or overcome something, okay? And with that energy here, it's making me think that present situation is more of like, it could be coming out as like a test, a poke you, sort of like, are you sure you learned that lesson? Are you sure you broke that pattern? Are you sure you're not going to slip into old habits again? In another sense, if that's not where it's resonating with you, it could be a sense of really learning how to balance and master that energy of intrinsic and extrinsic motivations, of, you know, how is inspiration informing our actions and thoughts. And it's really kind of pulling this energy of new beginning, next steps, possibly releasing some limiting beliefs or fears or old patterns around our hesitation to act, avoidance of certain things. And we're working through that, and we're doing so successfully, because the outcome then being the King of Wands is showing me a certain amount of self-mastery over this passion, over this fire, over our motivations, over our deliberate intentions. He's got creative wisdom. The King of Wands is that energy of not just self-mastery, but it's self-mastery over the wands, the fire element, right? So it's about being able to deliberately direct our thoughts and intentions, and to not so much be fixed. We're still flexible, because fire's that it's got a lot of movement there, right? But it's about knowing how to take your bonfire down to a campfire and make sure that it doesn't jump ship and turn into a wildfire. That's the King of Wands energy, right? So it's going to take your passions, your desires, your goals. It's going to make you evaluate them and plan for what to do next. It's going to help you to navigate through challenges or apparent obstacles that are not there to keep you from your goal, but are there to get you to shift something in yourself, an attitude, an approach, a communication, a style, a method, right? Strategize. So with this King of Wands energy here as the trajectory and the potential outcome, it actually shows things turning out really well and having some level of self-mastery over whatever this is that's fueling, you know, either our courage and determination and our creativity and our sense of adventure, or our impulsivity, or our overreaction, or emotional flares and things of that can be represented by both the light and dark aspects of the Knight of Wands, right? So it's really about like harnessing the power of our inspiration and our motivation, of our values, passions, purposes, goals, things of that nature. Harnessing how we feel about those things in a way that can be productive and bring us accomplishment, success, fulfillment, etc. And it's this level of self-mastery. So again, what's hidden from us is with the Six of Wands, and what could be revealed through these cards, and you can explore it further in personal meditation if you like, is the idea that we're not seeing maybe how far we've come in balancing these energies out in our lives. We're not necessarily seeing that we've overcome a lot, we've learned a lot of lessons, and we can finally let them go. And sometimes it's hard for us to recognize that we're working with progress, not perfection, and that we're bringing another level of self-awareness to our reactions, motivations, behaviors, or lack of motivation, or overreaction, etc., etc. It feels like there's been some work done in terms of, I just flipped over a couple more cards just for a little bit of clarification. Not that I really needed it, because this is very simple and straightforward, but it is bringing up a sense of having gone through struggles and reaching that point of success. And that's the stop, give yourself a pat on the back, take stock, recognize that you've actually integrated these lessons, and now you can put the self-knowledge and what those lessons and values or boundaries or techniques or strategies that you learned, you can actually put them into action confidently. So it's bringing up this level of, stop and take notice of yourself and how far you've come and where you're going, and how good this really is for you, because it's really pinpointing the fact that you have overcome a lot, and you really don't need to repeat certain things over again or hang on to old ways of doing or thinking. That it's time to really just go ahead and let that stuff go, because you're moving forward to a greater level. So don't hesitate to incorporate the wisdom that you've gained. Take the knowledge, leave the lesson, so to speak, right? Take what you've learned and put it into play, without holding on to the memory of necessarily what got you that, especially if it was a challenge or a struggle that really you kind of have to get over. to a certain extent. Just recognize, like, how far you've come. And it's progress, not perfection, right? You've made a lot of progress, and that's the point. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. We're all perfectly imperfect. But it's about having that self-recognition and that self-awareness of saying, you know what? I did do it. I did overcome that. I know that I can do A, B, C, D without having to slip back into, or you're in a situation and you catch yourself a lot quicker than you used to in saying, okay, I can feel the tension. I can feel the anxiety or the anger or the overexcitement or the overenthusiasm or whatever it is. I can feel that in me, and I'm seeing the thoughts and the memories and things spinning. Deep breath, calm it down, bring it back down to earth. Right here, right now, look around at where you're at, re-identify with who or what is around you or what the task at hand is, and be like, I can approach this differently because I know A, B, C, D. This is the truth. This is, the principle or the value or the strategy. This is what I want to do. So I'm not going to let that old stuff dictate to me what I should be doing because I'm moving in a new direction. I learned that already. I'm doing it this way. You know what I mean? So overall, excellent energy for this particular dark moon. It's perfectly wonderful that we can take time to self-appreciate and to self-recognize and to self-love and self-trust. All of that energy of, you've made it through. With all of this fire energy, you could even say you made it through the fire, and now here you are cooling off and ready for a fresh beginning with this new moon. So peace and blessings to you. I wish you a wonderful month, and I will see you next time.